All right, okay, welcome back. As you all know, guys, what is all about history right on this channel, dating back to time immemorial. And today we'll be talking about war, like a battle. From the inception of man, lots and lots of war have been fought that claimed human lives, lots and lots of battles, feuds, rifts, and all. But today we'll be talking about a particular one, which is the Battle of Nsamankow. Nsamankow, as the name implies, the battle that was fought in a part of Ghana. So going forward, the Ashanti Empire was a West African state that emerged in the 17th century is what is now known as Ghana. The Ashanti or the Ashanti is an ethnic subgroup of the Akan-speaking people and were composed of small chiefdoms. The Ashanti established their state around the Kumasi in the late 1600s, and shortly, in some ways, the empire grew out of the wars and dislocations caused by Europeans who saw the famous gold deposit, which gave this region its name, the Gold Coast. Then, I think Ghana has always had large deposits of natural gold, and that was one of the reasons it has a colonial name as Gold Coast before it was changed to Ghana. Going forward, and during the 18th century, the Ashanti became the ascendant nation in the region of modern-day Ghana and extended west into present-day Ivory Coast, which is Cote d'Ivoire. They have access to the coast and control of coastal trade, which was a source of continued conflict with the fancy city-states along the coast. Eventually, the Ashantis became so powerful that they raided coastal towns and forts. At this point, the British needed to either protect the fancy tribes with whom they traded from being massacred, or enslave the Ashanti, or leave them to their fate. Like the British, with this going on, the British needed to either protect the fancy tribe with whom they traded from being massacred and enslaved by the Ashanti, or leave them to their fate. That is kind of dilemma the British were at them. But they always go for what betters them the most, like what interests suit their own interest the most. And in 1824, the British, led by Charles McCarthy, was squaring up for a dreadful conflict with the Ashanti. Of course, they will protect the fancy tribe because of the gold and resources they were getting from them. So in 1824, the British, led by Charles McCarthy, was squaring up for a dreadful conflict with the Ashanti. McCarthy was, with some arrogance of bad military intelligence, led his army of barely 600 men against perhaps 10,000 Ashanti warriors and the king Osei Tutu Kwado. So confident was the king of the Ashanti that he prophesied that soon he would defeat the British, and the Maccabees' jawbones would be used as drumsticks and his skull as a loving cup, because of the intending war the British was trying to bring upon the Ashanti. And as Ashanti advanced, Sir Charles ordered his band to strike up with God Save the Queen. That is during the reign of the Queen of England, then, as the national anthem of Britain, there it is always God Save the Queen at the end. I don't know if at the end or at the beginning, or whichever way, depending on who the ruler is, it's either God Save the King or God Save the Queen. And as at that time, it is the anthem there was God Save the Queen, just like now that the former ruler of the United Kingdom, the British, is there, which is Queen Elizabeth. The anthem will now be changed from God Save the Queen to God Save the King, because of the ascending of the throne by King Charles, Prince Charles, now King Charles. Now, apart from that, going forward, the closer the Ashanti got, the quicker the Maccabees' fancies decided him. When the British guns were silent, the Ashanti held back, thinking the silence was a British ploy. But then it dawned that the British had run out of musket balls and power, because they thought the British were kind of planning a ploy, so they didn't really advance to the war front to attack them. But on the real sense, the British were out of ammunition, were out of bullets, were out of powder, and whatever it is to continue with the battle. As one of the few survivors reported, some survivors of the British, our gallant little forces still defended themselves with the bayonet. What do we mean by bayonet in this case? Bayonet is simply a kind of jackknife fixed to the edge of a gun to fight some kind of war, and it can be used in place of a sword, but there it is just a knife fixed to the edge of the gun. So moving forward, they themselves defended themselves with the bayonets until they were completely overpowered by the Maras, who instantly beheaded nearly every one of those who unfortunately fell into their remorseless hands. That was one crazy battle though, that to have all your army headless by some natives you want to fight with, which you weren't really that prepared enough for. McCarthy then was killed on January 21 alongside with his army 1824 at what came to be known as the Battle of Nsamankow near present-day Bonsaso. The Ashantis family used the governor's corps and those of others as drinking cups, which did not endear them to the British. This was the same thing that the king of the Ashanti as promised, and it came into fruition. It was not until 1831 that a treaty was signed to define the boundaries of the Ashanti Kingdom and the authority of the British territorial claim and the Gold Coast. That was one hell of a battle and a war during the Ashanti, Fati, and the British then in Ghana, which was tagged the Battle of Nsamankow. There is not much of an illustration to portray this. It has been long since the 1800s, but then I believe you are able to grab one or two and enjoy this story as it unfolds. And until I come your way next time, keep watching, like, subscribe, comment, and make a review of the video. Until next time, bye for now.